So I want to also introduce you to an article that I highly recommend everybody read and was highly influential in my thinking, which is this Places to Intervene in the System by Donella Meadows. Okay? This is a fantastic article on systems thinking. Okay? And it explains systems, and it explains intervention points in systems. Okay? So, for example, this is in order of increasing effectiveness. So the idea here is that most of our energy we spend on the ineffective stuff, on trying to tweak the numbers. We get more and more people to care by talking to them individually one at a time. That's numbers. You know, as you start regulating feedback loops, information flows, you change the rules of a system, you can imagine that changes everything pretty dramatically, right? If the rule of this building was that you could only come through one door, that would change how the building works, right? The power of self-organization, the goals of the system. If the goal of school was to, you know, the goal of the school was just to get drunk, it would be different. It would be a different experience. Right? Ronald Reagan famously changed the goal of government. Right? He said, government is not here to help you, government is here to get off your back. That changed how we deal with government, how it changed how we looked at government, it changed everything. All right? And then all the way down to the paradigm of the system. Do you have a question?
Are they using positive and negative feedback loops, right? Because positive feedback loop doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing.
No, negative and positive feedback loops, it talks about how it influences the system, not a value judgment of whether it's good or bad. It's a negative feedback loop dampers an effect. A positive feedback loop keeps it going. Okay, so that's how that's meant.
But you don't want to drive positive feedback loops that are bad.
No, but you want to drive the yeah, but you don't necessarily know whether they're good or bad sometimes
like
either. So it's here's the point I want to make, and where my interest came into it, right? Which is that at the end of this article, it's so fantastic that I highly recommend you read, and I have a couple extra copies for you. She goes, but there's a leverage point above all these. But to be truthful, I have to add this kicker. The highest leverage of all is to keep oneself unattached in the arena of paradigms. To realize that no paradigm is true. That even the one that sweetly shapes one's comfortable worldview is a tremendously limited understanding of an immense and powerful universe. It is to get, at a gut level, the paradigm that there are paradigms. And to see that that itself is a paradigm, and to regard the whole realization as pretty funny. It's devastatingly funny. It is to let go into not knowing. People who cling to paradigms, just about all of us, take one look at the spacious possibility that everything we think is guaranteed to be nonsense and pedal rapidly in the opposite direction. Surely, there is no power, no control, not even a reason for being, much less acting in any experience that there is no certainty in any worldview. And we see that every day. I mean, I'm going to let me get a little edgy here, right? Those people who fight the idea of evolution are fighting the idea that they don't know an answer, for example. But everyone who has managed to entertain that idea for a moment or for a lifetime has founded a basis for radical empowerment. If no paradigm is right, you can choose the one that will achieve your purpose. If you have no idea where to get a purpose, you can listen to the universe. Or put in the name of your favorite deity here. Nature, the ice, and do his, her, or its will, which is a lot better informed than your will. It is in the space of mastery over paradigms that people throw off addictions, live in constant joy, bring down empires, get locked up or burned at the stake, or crucified or shot, and have impacts that last for millennia. Okay, that was what I got interested in, right? I am not interested, can I just be frank here? Okay. I'm not interested in fucking around with numbers or the smaller paradigms, right? We need more people looking at this other paradigm. We're talking about evolution here. At least I got interested in it. That excites me. It's completely difficult. It's difficult to grasp, it's difficult to understand, it's difficult to do, it's completely crazy, it's completely impossible, and it's exciting. At least that's my take on it. So that's why art. So, I mean, it's like being on the Titanic, you've got to, all the lifeboats have gone, you've got to figure out how to grow wings. Or look at the situation completely differently. Don't worry about surviving, worry about singing a song and making sure it gets heard by the people on the boat. Something like that, anything. Right? So when I look at the thing, I look at it and I say, we actually have a civilizational cone. As 8 billion people of humanity, we have a big problem that there's not an answer to yet, but there's still a reason to engage it. So, here's what I've come to now in terms of, well, combining this cause of climate situation and art, right? Which is to look at it and look at it like this. We have a situation that's out of our time, right? The coal and oil we're using, way before humans were even a species. Way, way older than civilization. Even the ice that we're melting, or the ecosystems that we're destroying, have been around for longer than humankind. And definitely longer than industrialized civilization, or even the classic civilization, right? Classic Western civilization. So if we are going to rise to this occasion as 8 billion people, as a humanity, well, one idea is we got to come at it from another time, literally. What does that mean? I don't know. That's the colon. What does it mean to come at it from another point in time? I can tell you some basic hints, right? It means coming at it from a place that was going to surprise you because you haven't thought of it before. It's coming at it in a way that is just completely unique. It is coming at it from we're going to create something new. If we're successful, you're going to live in it or see, if you're lucky enough to live long enough, to see a humanity that you would never have imagined before. How many of you have been to Burning Man? Anybody? No. Holly. Okay, one of the experiences you can have at Burning Man is to go there and go, wow, I never imagined a world like this. But that when you see, you go, but duh, it just makes so much sense. Right? Is that a fair assessment? Okay, that's an example. You don't know it until you see it. And you have to have faith that you're going to engage it differently to get there. So that's an obvious place for art to engage, right? But climate art